we will get started. So we're going to be talking about Cortez conquering the Aztecs today. Why is my clicker not clicking? Ugh! Technology. All right, now my clicker shall click. I know why. I was a dum-dum. Sorry. So, now, one of the ideas, and like I said, this is something that the Spanish might have added. Yes, of course, you're here in school, you're right. No, it's my evil plan. It's my evil plan. It's actually not that long. You need to have this idea. So like we said, we don't know if the Spanish put this in afterwards, but some say that Moctezuma, excuse me, thought that this could be Quetzalcoatl coming to Earth. And because if you remember from your Kids Discover, Quetzalcoatl comes, it's the end of the world. Oh boy. So Moctezuma thinks he's best off going and welcoming the Aztecs in, going and saying, gosh, we keep on doing it, welcoming the Spanish in. And they go and give them gifts. They go and try to be nice and do all sorts of things to make them happy. So you could probably shorten this thinking Moctezuma may have thought that the Spanish were gods and welcomed them into a city with open arms. Now, strange people ever show up to your doorstep and they have strange weapons, maybe don't welcome them in so with open arms without learning a little bit more about them, okay? I was like, they just had a bazooka on their back. Who thought something would go wrong? So, I told you how to shorten it, Mamma Mia. Come on. They thought the Aztecs may be gods. Welcome them in. Come on. But he quickly realizes this was not a good idea. It didn't take long. Eventually, Moctezuma is taken hostage. He's held captive. And was told, give them gold. They do. And Moctezuma goes, has gold given to them, silver given to them, and is thinking, well, maybe if we just go and give them what they want, they will leave. But the problem is, the more gold the Spanish got, the more silver the Spanish got, the more gold and silver the Spanish wanted. See, there were rumors of a mythical city, El Dorado, that was literally plated with gold. Everything was made of gold. That's what the Spanish were telling themselves that was in the Americas. And if Moctezuma could keep giving gold, perhaps they knew the way to get to El Dorado. And one of the things is Moctezuma is not freed. Like you said, he thought by giving them gold, they would be free. Turns out, it only sealed his death. The Spanish will go and stop a human sacrifice from happening. Which, of course, if any people did think the Spanish were gods, they knew that the gods wanted human blood. It was their religion. So that kind of showed right there, well, they cannot possibly be the gods if they don't want human blood. And a big riot happens. Moctezuma is actually killed in the riot by his own people, we think. We don't think the Spanish actually killed Moctezuma. We think his own people did in the craziness of the riot that pursued when they're going and fighting against the Spanish here. Now, Aztecs are going to be massacred in this event, but the Spanish, remember, there's not many of them. And they have to flee. For this slide right here, I would not write everything. You need to have the basic idea that we had, that the Spanish come into the city, capture Moctezuma, and there's eventually a riot. Moctezuma dies. People are not happy with the Spanish. So we don't know exactly who killed them. We think now that probably it was the Aztecs themselves killed Moctezuma, but it could have been the Spanish as well. It was very chaotic from what the historians say. But one of the things that happens is the Spanish do retreat at this time because they were getting overrun. So the Spanish leave the city, and he loses a lot of people in this. This actually doesn't look like it's going to be the resounding victory for the Spanish that he's hoping for. Because remember, Aztecs, they have their city well defended. They are running through those causeways like barely escaping with arrows and rocks getting hurled at them. It's a very crazy time. Like I said, you don't have to be writing everything, but you do not want to know the Spanish are going to leave, but they're going to come back. And you have to remember, everybody who was ruled by the Aztecs hated the Aztecs. So they're going to happily help the Spanish once they find out they're fighting against them. We're almost done with our notes for today. So here we see the attack that they're eventually going to lead. The Spanish coming in on here through there. Other natives going on boats to attack the city. Aztec defenders there. Remember, the Aztecs are weakened. We talked about this yesterday for those of you who watched the lecture. They've been fighting civil wars. And because of the Spanish now, some of them are mysteriously getting sick. Because one of the things we're going to learn is the Americans, when all of these new European and African and Asian germs come in, because Europeans have been interacting with Africa and Asia, so they all had the same germs. When they come into the Americas that they have no, way of coping with it, it's not good. So, as we said, other tribes join the Spanish, and in May, the Spanish will overtake the Aztec capital. Well, it becomes Mexico City. So Tenochtitlan is present-day Mexican City, or Mexico City, not Mexican City, silly Mr. Kenny. We're getting close to the end. So August 13th, the Aztecs surrender, and it only took 2 years. The Aztec Empire is completely destroyed. And that's going to be our last slide for today. Now, I'm not going to ask you specific dates or anything like that, but you need to know that it didn't take long for the Spanish to completely annihilate the Aztecs. Here we see the Spanish, their cannons on boats blowing through the walls, and unfortunately, those poor people. So I'm going to stop our recording at this point. Do we have any questions or comments about what we